Hey, how's everyone doing? Today, I'm going to be showing you how to complete the Liberty Falls Easter eggs solo and co-op, but before we jump into it, let me go over a couple quick things. Firstly, I just want to say and get this out of the way that the reason why this is such a late video compared to other videos is because I've had a couple personal things going on in my life, so I haven't been able to push out videos on BO6. It just sucks that the timing of everything has been happening around BO6's launch. The second thing I kind of wanted to say was, if my mic sounds way different than it has in the past, I had to completely freshly install Windows 11 due to an issue I was having on my PC, and I have not been able to figure out how to get my mic to work exactly how I want it to. So for now, until I figure it out for this video and videos in the future, this is how I'm gonna sound, and I'm sorry. But with all that out of the way, let's jump on to the Easter egg guide, and to start, let's start with a class setup. For a starting weapon, I genuinely recommend the GS45. I did not have any attachments on it when I brought it in, so you can add some if you want to, but for me, just the base variant is really good because when you pack-a-punch it, it turns into an explosive weapon like the Mustang and Sally's. For a melee weapon, you can just bring in the knife. For a field upgrade, I brought in Frenzied Guard because it can help you in a bind if you're out of armor and don't really have the salvage to get more armor. For tactical equipment, I brought in the concussion grenades, and then for the lethal equipment, I brought in the Semtexes. Gobblegums, I'm not really going to go over those because I did not use any at all, but whatever you want to bring in, you can. The first step of this Easter egg is opening up Pack-a-Punch, and all you have to do is open the first 3 or 4 doors to get into the Pack-a-Punch room, and as soon as you get into that room, it's just sitting in front of you. The second step is going to be interacting with this machine to the right side of Pack-a-Punch. As soon as you do, your screen is going to flash white, and then on the awning behind you, there's going to be a ghost of a person that's standing on top of it, and he'll talk to you for a little bit. For step 3, you're going to want to start by building the jet gun. There's 3 parts that you're going to want to get, and each part has like a little mini side Easter egg in order to get it. For the first part, you're either going to need to get a mutant injection, or you're going to need to pick up a Mangler's cannon off the floor, or you can build both of those with salvage. When you've gotten one or the other, come over to the radio house in Riverside, and you need to blow open this door using the Mangler's cannon for whichever field upgrade you bought or used. It's not a field upgrade, but you get what I mean. Score streak, there you go, that's the right word. Inside the radio house, there's going to be these little dig sites that kind of look black in color. Now when you dig them up, because you don't need a shovel to do this, you can just interact with it, and you're not going to get a prompt, but you'll be able to do it. Each time you interact with one, you could possibly not get the part, or it could be either a vermin, I think the spider thing, or you can get salvage. Keep digging each of those up until you get the wiring for the jet gun. For the second part, come to this water spigot in Washington Avenue and interact with the top of it to pick up a water valve. Again, you're not going to get a prompt, but when you interact with it, you'll just automatically pick it up. Then you need to come to the bowling alley, and on this wall, there's going to be a little box that you need to melee to get it to open. Place the water valve on these pressure gauges, and then you need to interact with it for a really long amount of time. And you're just going to be sitting there interacting with this thing until the progress bar is completely full. There is a slight catch to this though. As you're interacting with and turning the water valve, a bunch of zombies are going to be spawning around you. So you're going to need to constantly stop to kill zombies, and if you take too long, then your progress will reset. But you are given more than enough time to be able to do this in solo. In co-op, you could just have a teammate protect you while you're interacting with the water valve. Eventually, when the progress bar is full, those little fuel gauges that were there are going to pop out onto the floor, and those will be the next part to the jet gun. For the final part, you're going to need to come up to the cemetery, and you're either going to have to just kill a few zombies or wait a couple rounds. It's completely random as to when the groundskeeper will spawn, and that's what you're waiting for. You need to get him to spawn in. When he does spawn in, he'll have a different name, but he'll also look very different. He'll be wearing overalls and a flannel, and his name will be Groundskeeper. You just need to kill him, and when he is dead, you then need to pick up the key that he drops. Take that key to the Groundskeeper's yard, and in the corner, there's going to be a wooden shed. Use the key to open up the door, and then directly inside on the right, you're going to see the handbrake, and that's going to be the final part for the jet gun. Take all 3 of the parts to the second story of the motor lodge, and on the left side, there's going to be a door that when you get close enough, a bunch of zombies are going to burst out, and you're going to need to kill them all. As soon as you do, head inside of the room, and there's going to be a crafting bench where you can then craft the jet gun. Go ahead and craft it, then pick it up. For step 4, you're going to need to find 3 parts to build a device called the LTG, and each part you find, you need to use this jet gun to suck it up. The first part is going to be inside the church, and it'll be directly on the left side of that spirit from earlier. Just go ahead and suck it up with the jet gun, and you don't need to actually interact with it. As soon as you see like a golden flash cover your screen, you'll know you've picked it up. The second one is is going to be in Washington Avenue. If you come from the Hill Street and then jump up to the Washington Avenue rooftops, and then from there jump onto this white van or white semi truck, if you look through this window directly behind you, you can then suck it up through the window. The final part is going to be inside the comic book store, and as soon as you go inside, look up at the ceiling through the broken tiles and you'll see it. Just go ahead and suck it up for the final time. When you get all three of the parts, you can then bring them to the Alamo. In other words, it's literally just the rooftop of the bank, and you can get there by taking the zip line from the cemetery. In the back left corner, there's going to be another workbench that you can use to build the LTG device, and then once it's built, you can pick it up. Once you've picked it up, make your way back to the church, and inside that machine you interacted with for step 2, there's going to be an ether canister that is sticking out. You now need to pick that up, but it can be a little finicky if you can't like pick it up when you're pushed up directly against it. Just kind of stand back a little bit and you should get a prompt. Now that you have both the LTG device and the dark ether canister, come outside of the pump and pay directly inside of spawn. It's kind of near the actual ammo crate where you can rebuy ammo, and place the ether canister on top of this device on the floor that's connected to the trap. Also, just a quick side note, while you're holding the ether canister, you can't run, and there's not going to be a prompt for you to place it on top of the device. You literally just have to drop it right on top of it. Make your way over to the Riverside Street and you're going to see this little ether storm. You then need to place the LTG device in the center of the storm, and there's going to be like a little placeholder, and that one you will need to interact with for it to like place down. As soon as you do, a little ether orb is going to spawn and zombies are going to try and go through the portal, but you have to prevent them from doing that. And each time a zombie does go through the portal, you're going to lose a little bit of health. So the main goal here is to protect the device by preventing zombies from going through the portal. This is timed, but it doesn't take too long, and zombies don't really spawn a lot during this if you have one saved. So I'd say this is pretty easy, and again, it doesn't take super long to complete. As soon as the timer runs out, a high value target is going to spawn, and it can either be an abomination with a lot of health, or it can be a mangler with a lot of health. Whichever one you get, it doesn't matter. You basically have to get the high value target to really low health. You have to get them to low health, but do not kill them. As soon as you get it to low health, make your way back over to where you place down the ether canister and then activate the trap, and on the floor a purple ring is going to spawn. That's part of the trap. If you get the high value target inside of that purple circle, you need to kill it so that way its essence can transfer over into the canister. You can either let the trap do this for you if it's low enough, or you can shoot at it while it's within the circle, but do not kill it outside of that circle, otherwise you'll need to do this again. Another quick side note when it comes to the ether canister, you could just keep it in your inventory until you get the high value target down to low health. That's the stupid way to do it, because I didn't realize that you had to drop it. I was trying to figure it out, so I did that, and that's why in the footage you're seeing me place it, then turn on the trap. So you can flip the order in which you do it. You can spawn the high value target first, or you could place it first. As soon as the high value target is dead and the essence goes inside of the ether canister, pick it back up, and you're going to have 1 minute and 30 seconds to bring it all the way back to the church, and then place it inside of that machine within the church. A little slot on the left side of the machine is now going to open up, and you need to pick it up, and it's going to replace your tactical equipment. This device is called the Strauss counter, and to be fair, I don't know exactly what it does. This next step makes absolutely no sense, but we got to do it. For step 5, you're going to need to bring the Strauss device to 3 different devices around the map. The first one can be located on the hilltop stairs. It'll be off to the side on like the side of the bank in the grass right here. The second one can be found in the groundskeeper's yard. It'll also be in the grass kind of near the gated area. And the final one will be on top of the Yummy Freeze rooftop, and you can get there by coming to the rooftop of the bank or the Alamo, and then there should be a door on the opposite side of the cemetery zipline that you can buy to get to that rooftop. I don't know, there's a lot of rooftops, but basically it's on the Yummy Freeze rooftop. Each time you go up to one of the devices, you need to interact with it to turn it on, and then you need to use the Strauss device next to it. If the Strauss device is green, then you need to set that device's color, the other device's color, to red. If it's red, you need to set it to green, and if it's yellow, leave it at yellow. It kind of sounds confusing, but you'll notice on the device on the floor on the right side, there's a bunch of different lights. So when you pull out the Strauss device, if the whole screen is green, then you need to set the device on the floor's color to red, as an example. When you've done it correctly, go into spawn, and on this device right here, a bunch of light beams are going to fly to it, and after a couple seconds, the device will open, revealing another ether canister that you need to pick up. As soon as you pick up the ether canister, make your way over to the ether storm where you had originally placed the LTG, and then pick that device back up. As soon as you do that, make your way into the cemetery, and there will be another Aether storm that you need to place the LTG at, and it's the same as before. As soon as you place it, a lockdown is going to start and a portal will open so zombies can get through it, but your goal is to not let zombies get through it. If they do, the device will take damage and you can't let that happen. This is super easy, just protect it and you'll be fine. As soon as the timer ends, another high value target is going to spawn, and once again, you need to get it down to super low health. But before you do that, you can also place the Aether canister on top of this device in the hill street next to the other trap. But like I said before also, you can do this in any order. You can place the canister first or you can do it after. But bottom line is, place the device on top of this little thing on the floor near the trap. When you've gotten the high value target down to super low health, once again, turn on the trap and a little purple circle will spawn on the floor. Your goal is to kill that high value target within that circle to capture its essence within the Aether canister. Do not kill it outside of the circle. As soon as you've gotten everything up to this point done, you can go ahead and pick up the Aether canister and place it back inside of the device inside of the church. For this next part, we're in the boss fight, so let me go over a quick setup to get you ready for the boss fight. It's not hard, but you do want to get as set up as possible before going into it. I recommended bringing in that pistol because when pack-a-punched, it becomes the Sally and it also becomes explosive, and the explosiveness of it is really useful for the boss enemies within this fight. I recommend flying through a couple rounds to try and get it up to a legendary rarity and getting it tier 3 pack-a-punch. Also, if you do not already have one, bring in a self-revive and then also bring in one of those mutant injections just in case you need it. To go into this boss fight, interact with the machine for the final time inside of the church. As soon as you do, the portal is going to close and it's going to lock you inside the church. There's 3 phases to this boss fight, and the first phase is just going to be a bunch of manglers and zombies spawning and running at you. Basically, all you want to do is just survive, hit everything with the explosive pistol, just do what you have to do. The second phase is going to be a bunch of manglers and zombies once again, but there's going to be 2 high value target manglers that spawn in with you, and those are going to be a little more tankier to take down. But it's basically the same thing, just survive, shoot them. When both of them are dead, some more zombies and lower tier manglers are going to spawn, and you just need to take care of those. After a little more time, the third phase is going to start, and this one is going to have an abomination HVT. Now, he may seem a little scary at first, but for some reason, the explosive pistol does a lot of damage to him, and it's actually kind of OP and just busted right now. So once again, you're just doing the same thing, training around, killing zombies and manglers, and then you have to take care of the abomination. Shoot his eyes when they're open, and that's how you deal the most amount of damage. But for some reason also, like I said, the explosive weapon does a lot of damage to him even if you don't hit him directly in the eye, so it shouldn't take that long to take him out. As soon as you kill the abomination, you'll get the Easter egg cutscene to start playing, and you will receive the achievement Bye Bye Dark Aether. When the cutscene's over, you are going to get the option to either continue playing your game or end your game. I don't have any footage of it because I chose to end the game, but from what I know, if you continue playing, you will receive a bunch of high tier rewards such as salvage, ray guns, wonder weapons, points, all kinds of stuff like that. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comments. Also, leave a random emoji in the comments. I love seeing from all of you guys. Once again, I apologize for this being like probably the latest guide to have come out if you enjoy watching my guides. But anyway, the next Easter egg guide is going to be the Terminus Easter egg guide, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.